Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria. As you can see, this is not my normal filming location, so I apologize for the lighting and how dark it is behind me, but I am currently at my grandparents' house in the middle of the Adirondack Mountains. I will be at a Polycon when you see this video. I think this video is going up on Saturday, so Saturday is the actual day of the signing for a Polycon, so I will be in DC, hopefully hugging Jess and Tori and Carrie and seeing a whole bunch of other booktubers that I am incredibly excited to see. But I had to pre-film all my videos and I was going on vacation to see my grandparents, so I had to film here. But today's video is going to be my August TBR. I didn't want to pre-film this too early because as a mood chaotic reader, I didn't know what books I was going to be reading towards the end of July, but it is now July 24th, so I feel okay about filming my TBR, although I could read one or two more of these books if I end up being in the mood for them before August. But I have quite a few books just like all around different subgenres and everything of what I might be in the mood for the month of August, because as you all know, I'm super chaotic with my reading. Another thing that is going on in August is the Romance Takeover Readathon. This is hosted by a few different people. Jenn from the Book Refuge, I know, like fully runs it. I think that Jessen from Jessen Reads Romance and Caitlin from the Love Librarian are also involved. Maybe Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. I don't remember who all the people who are hosting it are, but I will link their channels all in the description box, so go check out their announcement videos and everything, because this readathon is literally just a read romance readathon. This time around, Jenn made it so that it's like a light versus dark readathon. So you like choose a team. I still haven't chosen what team I'm gonna be on. I think that I'll be doing mostly gray prompts probably because they could go either way. But I'm just gonna try and read as much as I can, and I think I will be vlogging, hopefully. But it starts on August 1st and goes until, I think, the 7th of August, so I will be coming home from a Polycon on August 1st, so I have a 5-hour train ride to do, so I'll get a lot of reading done then. Okay, so as for the actual books that I am thinking that I might want to read in August, they are very broad, very all over the place, because there's a whole bunch of different ones that I didn't know what I would be in the mood for. So the first one is Fair Catch by Candy Steiner. I read Blindside by Candy Steiner in July and I loved it, gave it 5 stars. I had read a couple of other books. I think I'd read 2 other books. One of them I think was The Wrong Game. And I can't remember what the other one was that I had read. And I gave them 3 stars. Like, they were not favorites, not ones that I liked. They were just fine, kind of boring. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I like Candy Steiner, but then Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl convinced me to read Blindside, and I read it and I freaking loved it. And Fair Catch actually technically comes before Blindside. They can be read as standalones, but comes before Blindside. And I loved Riley in Blindside, and she's the heroine in Fair Catch, so I definitely want to read it. It's a college sports romance. Riley is actually the kicker on the football team, so she is a girl football player, which is super cool, and she has a romance with a teammate who I think also is her roommate and also is like her brother's best friend or something. So it's lots of tropes and it sounds really fun, and I definitely want to read it. Another one is Devil in the Deep Blue Sea by Elizabeth O'Rourke. I have read the other 2 books in this series, and I liked the first one and I didn't really like the third one, and this is actually the second one, and this is actually the one that I was the most excited for in this series. So I will be reading this one. I have liked a lot of the Elizabeth O'Rourke books that I've read, and I do want to read more Elizabeth O'Rourke because I've liked her books. I know that Parallel is another one that I want to read by her, and The Drowning Erin, I think might be the name of it, that is in the same world as Waking Olivia. So Elizabeth O'Rourke is just an author who happens to be on my TBR, but Devil in the Deep Blue Sea is the one that I already own, so I figured it should be one that I put on my list. And this, I think, is an enemies to lovers. I think that they're on a boat or like a cruise or something, and it should be fun. Then Tattered Stars by Katherine Cowells is on my TBR. If you've watched Jess from Peace Love Books recently, you will know that she's super obsessed with Katherine Cowells and has been shouting to the rooftops about her. And I haven't read her yet. I still haven't. I had tried so hard to finish a book of hers before Jess did her interview, but I didn't get to it, so I will be trying to read at least one Katherine Cowells book in August, preferably more than just one, and then I can go back and watch the interviews. But she writes small town romances. I think they're a little bit of a suspense aspect to them. I know that I was talking to somebody on Instagram in my DMs about Katherine Cowells, and she mentioned that if you liked Devaney Perry, you'll probably like Katherine Cowells, because she does have that like little bit of like romantic suspense element to her books, and they're small town and they're emotional, so I'm excited about it, and Jess loves her, so I have to read her. Another one is Hush Hush by Lucia Franco. This is an age gap best friend's dad romance, I'm pretty sure. I know that Lucia Franco is going to be at a Polycon. I didn't buy this book ahead of time, but I'm hoping that while I'm there, I can go to her table and like chat with her and try and get the book at a Polycon, because Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl posted a video that was talking about her like all-time favorite books, and I'm pretty sure that this book was on it. And it just sounded so good, and I have the audiobook for it. I got it from my library. My library had this. I was so surprised. And I will definitely be reading it. Next one is Give Me More by Sarah Kate. I am really, really hoping that the audiobook of Give Me More will be out in August, because I really need to read it, and I've been waiting for the audiobook. So I'm hoping that the audiobook will be out. But this is book 3 in the Salacious Players Club series, and it is a poly romance. So a married couple invites their like best friend into their romance. And the next is Carnal Urges by J.T. Geisinger. I've mentioned a bunch of times in a bunch of different videos. I know that I mentioned it in my TBR, KU TBR video, that I really need to continue with the Queens and Monsters series by J.T. Geisinger. I know I mentioned it in my series I need to finish video also. This one, I read Ruthless Creatures, and it was good. I was fine. I enjoyed it. But I've heard that the series gets better and better as it goes on, and that some people's like favorite books of the year is Carnal Urges, and it just sounds so good. It's a mafia romance, and I just need to read it, so. The next one is Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. This one finally came out on audio. Anna Huang's been making the audios recently and releasing them, and Twisted Hate just came out on audio at the end of July, and I'm hoping to get to it in August. This is a enemies with benefits romance, and I think it's also best friend's brother, if I remember correctly. But I know that a lot of people really enjoyed this one. Michae from Oh Hey It's Michae adores this book. It's like one of her all-time favorites. So I'm very, very excited about it. It is long for sure, but I'm excited about it. The next one is That Kind of Guy by Talia Hibbert. I was recently talking to Avery from Ava's Romance Books about this series of Talia Hibbert's, and we were just talking about Talia Hibbert in general, and I haven't read this series yet, and Avery was like, you have to read this series, it's so good. And I've loved all the other Talia Hibbert books that I've read, so I really need to get this series, and I own this one, so I don't think this is the first book in the series, but it's the one that I happen to own, so it's the one that I want to read. Then I have 3 that were on my TBR for July that I didn't get to, that I want to roll over into August, and that is The Bribe by Willa Nash, who is Devaney Perry's pen name. This is a small town romance. Then also Dark Notes by Pam Godwin, which is a dark romance. I believe it is teacher-student and age gap. And it's one that I'm just like weirdly obsessed with, and I think I'm gonna love it. It's like 5-star predictions kind of situation. And then the third one is The Crush by Carlos Renson. This book came out I think it came out last week, and I talked to Carlos Renson on Instagram, and she said the audiobook should be out in August. So I'm putting it on my August TBR because I want to listen to the audiobook, because I've listened to all of Carlos Renson's other audiobooks. So I want to continue with that. And then the last book that I officially wrote down on here that I want to read in August is another Devaney Perry book, and that is The Outpost by Devaney Perry. I have read this Jameson Valley series. I read book 1 and I didn't really like it. I think I either DNF'd or skimmed like all of book 2 because I didn't like it. Then I read The Lucky Heart and I really liked that one. But Jess from Peace Love Books has talked about how she loved The Outpost and gave it 5 stars. And everything that she has said has sounded really amazing. And so I want to continue with the series because I want to read all of Devaney Perry's books. Another one that I still haven't read is her Eden series, which starts with Indigo Ridge. I want to read that one. Her 3rd book in that series, Garnet Flats, came out recently, and that sounds amazing. But I have to read that series, and I haven't yet. I'm just so behind on all of the things, but I have a lot of reading to do to catch up. But I am excited, and I'm sure that for the first week of August, I will get a lot of reading done, hopefully for the Romance Takeover Readathon. So I don't have a specific TBR like set for the Romance Takeover Readathon, and I don't think I'm going to make a TBR. I think I'm just going to go with what I'm feeling. But some of the prompts, there are quite a few prompts. Sorry, I'm just like scrolling back on my phone to try and find where I screenshotted the prompts. Some of the prompts that I was interested in are sports romance, forced proximity, single parent, mafia romance, sounds great, reverse harem. I've been really into reverse harems again lately. Then age gap, siblings friend, paranormal. I've been in a little bit of a paranormal kick also recently. So there are just some like main tropes that I want to get to, but like I said, there are like 2 bingo boards. So one of them's like a white version and one of them's like a black version for like the light and dark teams. And I think I'm just going to be an undeclared team because I'm just going to go with what prompts I'm feeling. Otherwise I will feel restricted. But I'm hoping that I can get a lot of reading done then. Hoping I can get a lot of reading done in August as like the summer winds down, because I don't think that I'm traveling in August. But the end of August is going to get a little bit busier because my older brother is having an engagement party, so I will be going to that. Family will be here in town for that party, and also I'm going to a Harry Styles concert. So I'm really excited. So I have some great plans for August, and it's going to be great, and I hope that I can get a lot of reading done. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like if you liked it, and subscribe and stick around so you can see more content from me, and let me know down in the comments below what you are most excited to read in August. But that's going to be it, so I hope you have a great day.